You're probably going to find this lesson more complicated than Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday because you have to put it all together. So this is still 8.4 area of composite figures, and make sure you have all your area formulas listed on the side of your paper somewhere. So I'll go like this. So for a square, a rectangle, or a parallelogram, it's kind of a parallelogram. Hold on, let me try that again. There we go. Maybe, I tried. You have your formula A equals base times height. For a triangle, you have A equals base times height divided by 2. For a trapezoid, you have A equals 1/2 times the height times the sum of the bases. So those were Monday lesson, Tuesday lesson, Wednesday lesson. And then last week you did area of a circle, which is pi r squared. And then hopefully you remember that a semicircle, if you had to find the area of that, it would be pi r squared divided by 2. And I think those are all the formulas that you'll need for today's lesson and tomorrow's lesson. So just make sure you have those handy. So we're going to do these 3 problems together. Here's number 1. If I were you, I would pause your video right now and make sure you draw that just as I have, and then you can press play again. And so I'm going to number these shapes, or actually I'll use the letters A, B, and C to help me. So I'll call this shape A, the triangle, this rectangle shape B, and the parallelogram shape C. And the reason I do that is to kind of organize my work. So if I try to find the area of shape A first, it's a triangle, so I'm going to write my formula base times height divided by 2. The base of my triangle is 11.2. The height of my triangle is 4.5. And then I'll divide by 2. Let me get my calculator out. You should definitely have that handy, unlike I do. Okay, now I'm ready. 11.2 times 4.5, then divide by 2. So the area of just your triangle is 25.2. So I'm going to put a little squiggly line under that. I'm not going to circle it because it's not my final answer yet. That's just the area of the triangle, but I do need to remember that number. All right, now we'll do B. So shape B is a rectangle, so you're going to use area equals base times height. There you go. And then if you look at that rectangle, you've got a base of 8 and a height of 4.5. So you just have to multiply 8 times 4.5 for that one, and you get 36. So I'm going to put a squiggly line under that because we need to remember that number as well. One more number for this shape, or one more area for this shape, and it's also a parallelogram. So we're going to use A equals base times height one more time. And this time our dimensions are 8 and 6.7. So we just have to multiply 8 times 6.7. And you should get 53.6. So now, let me use a different color. I am going to take the area of shape A, the area of shape B, and the area of shape C, and I'm going to add them all together to get the total area of the whole composite figure. So I've got 25.2 plus 36 plus 53.6. I'm going to use my calculator, although you could totally add these by hand. And I got 114.8. Since this is area, this would be centimeters squared. So that's your final answer for number 1. So if you're still writing, pause the video because I'm going to have to clear my screen to do the second and third one. Although I don't want to clear all my formulas, so I'm just going to try to erase them all. Let's see how this works here. Here we go. Yay. See, guys, I'm getting it. I'm learning things. I'm going to do the purple one next as soon as I'm done erasing. Come on. Oops. I do wish it was a little bit faster, and now I'm erasing the background. All right, here we go. Number 2. So now I'm doing this purple one here. So I see 2 shapes. You could see 3 if you want to split the bottom part up into 2 different triangles, but you don't really need to do that. I would just make it one big triangle. So I would call this shape A and this shape B, and I'll do my work up here. So shape A is a rectangle, so you're going to use A equals base times height. So we've got 9 times 7. So that's 63. I'll put a squiggly under that. And then shape B is a triangle. The base of that triangle is actually 9. So write your formula down. This time it's base times height divided by 2. So I've got 9 for the base and 6 for the height of that triangle. And then I'll cut it in half. 9 times 6 is 54. And half of 54 is 27. A equals 27. So your very last step then is to add shape A and shape B together. So you have 63 plus 27, which is 90. So your answer for number 2 is 90 meters squared, or 90 square meters. All right, let me erase again, and then I'll do the third one. I know this video is a little bit longer than the others, but this video will work for today's lesson and tomorrow's lesson, so you won't need to watch another one tomorrow. Oops. Here we go. Okay, last one. This is number 3. Okay, so I see a square in the middle, and then I see 4 semicircles. So how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to call the square A. I'll do that first. That looks easy to me, that part. So the area of a square would be base times height, so 2 times 2. So far we have 4. And then I'm thinking instead of doing the work for the rest of your semicircles separately, it would be the same as 2 whole circles because they're all the same size. So I'm going to use my formula here. I'll call this B. I'll just call them all B. So I'm going to use formula for area of a circle, which is pi r squared. So I've got 3.14. Now be careful with the radius because they don't give you the radius, they give you the diameter. The diameter is all the way across, the diameter is 2, so I want to use 1 as the radius. Remember, you have to square your 1 first. 1 squared is 1, so you're just left with 3.14 times 1, or 3.14. Now, that would be for 1 whole circle. Let me change my color. This is 1 whole circle. If you look at the semicircles, you have 4 of them, so that would create 2 whole circles. So I'm going to multiply this times 2 to get 6.28. So 6.28 represents the 4 semicircles. So then your very last step is to take that, so that represents all of the semicircles that I've labeled B, and you're going to add it to the square in the middle, which is A. So your very last step is 4 plus 6.28, which would be 10.28 square feet. Okay, that's it for that one. You just have to be careful. You have to look at, which shapes you see, break them down into separate pieces. This is definitely the type of problems that these are definitely the type of problems that you want to show your work for, because it would be very hard to keep it organized and do it all in your head. Good luck.